Hey, good morning po sa lahat. Good afternoon pala. May quorum na po tayo. Okay, so the Bids and Awards Committee is resuming its session for today, December 13, 2024, and it is already a Friday. And we will be conducting pre-bid conference check ko lang po, for civil works contracts that have been scheduled today. All contracts are to be implemented by the construction division. So in attendance, we have the Chief of Construction, Engineer Robert Navarro. We also have Engineer Marisa Aguzar, Chief of the QAHT.
Good afternoon po.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon po, ma'am.
Good afternoon po, Sir Bobby and Ma'am Chu. And Engineer Aguzar is a back regular member for all types of procurement. And I am Cheryl Antonio David from the Administrative Division, Vice Chairperson, presiding in the absence of our chairperson this afternoon, who has an equally important meeting to attend to. And we already have a quorum based on the attendance of the 3 members of the committee. Earlier today, we also have our observer attending on site, si Miss Margareta Fernandez, who has expressed her intention to go online also, considering that we conduct our pre-bid conference online. We are assisted today, as usual, by the Secretariat and Technical Working Group. And the Secretariat is headed by Engineer Alex Fertudazo, who's also the head of the procurement unit under the Office of the Regional Director. Aside from the Secretariat Dpwh, the different members of the team from Construction Division is assisting us today, and we'll be discussing the details of each contract. So before we continue po, I would just like to remind everyone that for those watching via YouTube live stream, which will also record our proceedings today, you have 3 days from today to submit any written query or request for clarification on any of the contracts or matters to be discussed today for the pre-bid conference. And if ever we do receive any request for clarification or query, we will issue a bid bulletin to be posted as required para po malaman ng lahat ang kasagutan sa inyong katanungan. Also, the minutes of the pre-bid conference will also be made available within 3 days from today. Just submit your request to the procurement unit for the appropriate processing. Sige po, for the team from construction, you may now discuss the details. Introduce po muna natin ang ating sarili and then you may continue. Salamat po.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Engineer Jara Makalalad from the Construction Division. And for today's pre-bid, I will be presenting the technical component of the project. Contract ID number 24D0300, construction of flood control structure along Upper Marikina River, Montalban, Rizal. Items of work, Part A, facilities for the engineer, 8.1.18, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis per month, 8.1.26, operation and maintenance of 4x2 pickup type service vehicle for the engineer, vehicle month, 8.1.41, provision of progress photographs per month. Part B, other general requirements. B.15 B.51 project billboard or signboard each. B.71 occupational safety and health program lump sum. B.91 mobilization demobilization lump sum. B.181 Craneway linear meter. Showing you the Dpwh standard project billboard. Minimum material testing equipment for medium contractors. Construction of flood control structure along Upper Marikina River, Montalban, Rizal. Showing you the key map, Calabarzon map, and vicinity map. Typical section. Detail of concrete handrail. Scope of work, construction of grouted riprap for foot protection and construction of 0.7 meter by 0.8 meter reinforced concrete pile cup with 18 meters Z-type steel sheet pile. The minimum major equipment requirements are the following. The minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. Approved budget for the contract is 96,500,000 pesos. And the source of fund is FY 2024 GAA for Dpwh Infra Program. The contract duration of the project is 255 calendar days. Major category of works, flood control, construction of bank protection structure. Showing you the similar categories of works. Thank you po. That's all for the technical component of the project.
Good afternoon. I am Engineer CJ Sota from the Construction Division, and I'm going to present the legal and financial component of the pre-bid. Starting with bid data sheet. ITB clause number 10.3. The required pickup license for this contract is as follows. For contract ID number 24D0300, license category B and license classification medium A. ITB clause number 22. The bid submission may be done manually or electronically or online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. The address for receipt of bids submitted manually is at Bidding Room, DPWH Region 4A, Canlubang Interchange, Barangay Mayapa, City of Calamba, Laguna, and electronically should be submitted at electronicbids_R4A at dpwh.gov.ph. The deadline for receipt of bids is on December 27, 2024 at 10 a.m. For bids to be submitted electronically or online, the following procedures should be observed following the Department Order number 87 series of 2020. GCC clause number 4.1. The procuring entity shall give possession of the site to the contractor upon the receipt of the notice to proceed. The start date should not be later than 7 calendar days from its issuance date of receipt of the notice to proceed. GCC clause number 7.2, in case of semi-permanent structures such as buildings of types 1, 2, and 3 as classified under the National Building Code of the Philippines, 5 years for contract ID number 24D0300. Bid security. Bidders are allowed to choose any of the following forms: cash, cashier's check, manager's check, issued by a universal or commercial bank, 2% off ABC. Bank draft, guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit issued by a universal or commercial bank. If issued by a foreign bank, it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a universal or commercial bank, 2% off ABC. Surety bond callable upon demand, issued by a surety or insurance company, duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, 5% off ABC, and bid securing declaration. Important notice. Bids and bid securities shall be valid within 120 calendar days from the opening of bids. 2% off ABC for contract ID number 24D0300, 1,930,000 pesos. Surety bond, 5% off ABC, 4,825,000 pesos. Showing you the checklist of technical and financial documents. Submission of bids. Two envelope system. Documentary requirements, duly signed, paginated with ear tags and book-bound. For technical and financial envelopes, envelopes 1 and 2. One original and two duplicate copies placed in one sealed envelope. Payment process of bidding documents. Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Fridays, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Bidding date is on December 17, 2024 at 10 a.m. The cost of bidding document for the contract ID number 24D0300 is 50,000 pesos. Important notice. The net financial contracting capacity or NFCC of the bidder shall be used in the eligibility processing. Prospective bidder must have an NFCC of at least equal to the ABC to be procured as follows. IRR section 23.5.2.6. NFCC is equal to the current assets minus current liabilities times 15 minus value of portions of all outstanding works under the bidder's ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts to be started, which portions coincide with the contract to be bid. Credit line commitment shall no longer be accepted per GPPB Resolution Number 20 Series of 2013, dated July 30, 2013, and Department Order Number 37 Series of 2014, dated March 26, 2014. In the NFCC, the fixed factor of 15 shall be used in the computation of the NFCC regardless of the contract duration. As per the Department Order Number 193 Series of 2016, the procuring entity shall disqualify the contractor from participating in the bidding or award of contract for infrastructure projects if his firm incurred a delay in any of his ongoing contracts, either government or private, which is considered attributable to him pursuant to the provisions of IRR of RA 9184 in any of the following cases. Number 1, where the firm incurred a negative slippage of at least 15% of his ongoing contract in accordance with Section 34.3.b.ii of Rule X Post Qualification of RA 9184. Number 2, where the delay in the completion of work has exceeded the time duration equivalent to 10% of the specified contract time, plus any of the approved time suspension. The same shall be subject for rescission in accordance with Section 8.4 of Annex E of RA 9184, or 3, where the total liquidated damages has exceeded 10% of the total contract price. The same shall automatically taken over by the procuring entity or award to a qualified contractor through a negotiation in accordance with Section 8.5 of Annex E of RA 9184. Work experience in similar contracts. Prospective bidder must have done a single largest completed contract, SLCC, similar to the contract to be procured, and whose value at current prices is at least 50% of the ABC to be bid. GPPB NPM number 150 series of 2016, a temporary PCAB certificate of license cannot substitute the requirements of submitting a valid PCAB license as part of eligibility requirements. That's all po for legal and financial component of the pre-bid. Now sharing you the electronic submission of and receipt of bids.
Electronic submission and receipt of bids. This is for the efficient conduct of procurement activities during a state of calamity or implementation of community quarantine or similar restrictions, authorizing the submission and receipt of bids through electronic means or email. Our legal references for the submission of bids electronically are the Department Order Number 87. Electronic submission and receipt of bids. This is for the efficient conduct of procurement activities during a state of calamity or implementation of community quarantine or similar restrictions, authorizing the submission and receipt of bids through electronic means or email. Our legal references for the submission of bids electronically are the Department Order Number 87, Series of 2020, GPPB Resolution Number 9, 2020, dated May 7, 2020, and the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. The prospective bidders shall prepare and submit their bids electronically following the steps prescribed under WDO 87, 2020 in accordance with GPPB Resolution Number 9, 2020 as follows. The Box Secretariat shall post the invitation to bid and bidding documents in the Dpwh and PhilJEP's websites and at any conspicuous place for 7 calendar days per Section 21 of the IRR of RA 9184. Upon posting of the invitation to bid and bidding documents, the Box Secretariat shall create the Contract ID folder in the eBid portal. This is the Dpwh Electronic Bid Submission and Receipt portal. This is the Contract ID folder created by the Box Secretariat in the eBid portal. The contractor shall purchase the bidding documents per Section 17.4 and Appendix 8 Guidelines on the Sale of Bidding Documents of the IRR of RA 9184. The applicable fee for the specific project is indicated in the invitation to bid. Prior to the deadline of submission of bids, the prospective bidders shall send an email with subject official receipt for contract ID to electronicbids_R4A@dpwh.gov.ph. Attached to the said email is the copy of the official receipt of purchase of bidding documents in portable document file PDF format with file name in the format pickup ID underscore contract ID underscore official receipt dot PDF. For example, the file name of the attached PDF containing the official receipt of the contractor with pickup ID number 12345 who intends to participate in the bidding of contract ID number 21D00001 shall be 12345 underscore 21D00001 underscore official receipt dot PDF. Further, the email subject would be official receipt for 21D00001. This is the confirmation of the electronically submitted official receipt. An email shall be received by a prospective bidder confirming its successful submission of the official receipt. Only the electronic bids of bidders who have successfully submitted an electronic official receipt shall be accepted. This is the folder of the OR received in the eBid portal. This is the OR submitted by the contractor received in the eBid portal. Upon submission of electronic proof of purchase of bidding documents or the OR, the contractor may now send its electronic bid with file name format pickup ID underscore contract ID underscore bid.zip or .rar or .7z with email subject format bid submission for contract ID. Its bid must be in a password-protected archive format and shall contain two password-protected archive files, the technical and financial proposal. This is an acknowledgement receipt email that will be received by the contractor upon submission of its bid. This is the folder submitted in the eBid portal. Similar to manual submission, prospective bidders shall prepare their bids in two file folders, each for the technical and financial components. The file name of the technical and financial components folders should be in the format pickup ID underscore contract ID underscore technical and pickup ID underscore contract ID underscore financial. Subsequently, each of the technical and financial components file folders shall be compressed, password protected, and named in the format pickup ID underscore contract ID underscore technical.zip or .rar or .7z and pickup ID underscore contract ID underscore financial.zip or .rar or .7z respectively. Each file contained in the technical and financial components file folders shall be in PDF format, either scanned or exported, published, with file name in the format pickup ID underscore contract ID underscore descriptive file name.pdf. The compressed archive file folders of the technical and financial components shall be compiled in a password-protected compressed archive main file folder with file name in the format PCAB underscore contract ID underscore bid. In case the total file size of the main archive file folder is more than the allowable size of an attachment per email of the prospective bidder's email service provider, they shall need to split its electronic bid into two or more password-protected compressed archive main file folders. The email submitting the prospective bidder's electronic bid should have a subject in the format bid submission for contract ID. In case of multiple compressed archive main file folders, it shall be submitted in multiple emails, each with subject in the format bid submission 1/2 for contract ID, bid submission 2/2 for contract ID. If a bidder wishes to modify its electronic bid, he may do so following the procedures in the manual submission of bid, or he may choose to submit his modification electronically in the same format prescribed in the preparation and submission of an electronic bid, except that the subject of the email submitting the bid modification shall be labeled Bid Modification X for contract ID, where X represents the number of bid modifications submitted. For example, the subject of an email submitting a first bid modification for contract ID number 21D00001 should be bid modification 1 for 21D00001. This is the same in the prescribed format in the preparation and submission of electronic bid, except that the bid modification main archive file folder shall be labeled as PCAB ID underscore contract ID underscore bid modification underscore x dot zip or dot rar or dot 7z. In case a prospective bidder that have purchased a bidding document decided not to participate, he may choose to submit his letter of non-participation manually or electronically. In case of electronic submission, the contractor shall send an email with the subject non-participation for contract ID with the letter of non-participation as attachment with file name pickup ID underscore contract ID underscore non-participation.pdf. This email should be sent to electronicbids underscore R4A at dpwh.gov.ph before the deadline for bid submission. Bids may only be withdrawn prior the deadline for bid submission. In case of withdrawal of an electronic bid, the bidder shall send an email with the subject bid withdrawal for contract ID and the letter of bid withdrawal in PDF format with file name pickup ID underscore contract ID underscore bid withdrawal.pdf shall be attached. This email should be sent to electronicbids underscore R4A at dpwh.gov.ph before the deadline for bid submission. The box secretariat shall close the contract ID folder in eBid portal on the deadline of submission and receipt of bids. This is the closed contract ID folder in the eBid portal. The box secretariat shall download the bids from the eBid portal to the local computer. Only during the actual opening of bids shall the bidder disclose the passwords for his electronic bid. This can be done by the bidder's authorized representative verbally in person, through phone call, online platforms, or through writing. In all cases, the bidders will have only 3 attempts or 15 minutes, whichever comes first, to provide the correct password. Otherwise, the bidder shall be disqualified except in unforeseen justifiable circumstances. The bidder may also be subjected to the three-strike policy as warranted by the circumstances. If the bidder chooses to disclose the password through phone call, he should make sure that the contact numbers as recorded in the Civil Works application are open when the back calls to ask for the password. The bidder may also choose to call the back number during the bid opening time and wait for the opening of his bid for him to disclose the password. For online call, video calls, the bidder may call the back messenger account. If the bidder chooses to attend the bid opening through online conference, the bidder should join the meeting using the given link. If the bidder chooses to disclose the passwords through writing, the letters for password 1, main file folder, technical component file folder, and password 2, financial component file folder, should be enclosed in separate envelopes with the sender details such as AMO, bidder name, and address. Address to the back chairperson with the details of the bidding such as contract ID, contract name, bid opening date and time. Signed and sealed with a remark, password 1 or 2. Do not open before actual bid opening date and time. All electronic bids, password-protected compressed archive main file folders shall be opened first for the opening of the technical component compressed archive file folders. This shall be followed by the opening of the bids submitted manually for the opening of the technical component envelopes. The same procedures apply for the financial component compressed archive file folders and financial component envelopes. The back secretariat shall open the financial proposal archive file. Notes and reminders for the contractors in the preparation and submission of bids. Only bidders with system-accepted proof of payment shall be allowed to submit their electronic bids, which shall not be beyond the deadline specified for the submission of bids. An email shall also be received by a prospective bidder in instances where their sent email related to the submission of electronic OR of purchase of the bidding documents if it has incorrect subject contract ID, which means that a corresponding folder with the same contract ID does not exist in the eBid portal, if it has no attachment, if it has an attachment but is not in the prescribed format, if it has more than one attachment, or if it was received after the deadline of bid submission. For the foregoing cases, the prospective bidders should rectify or correct the noted deficiencies to comply with the requirements for its electronic bid to be accepted. The bidders must submit their electronic bid using the registered email address in the Civil Works application. In case prospective bidders are not yet registered in the CWA, they can use any email address subject to the verification of the back secretariat. For joint venture, The format of pickup ID to be used by the bidder in naming their files, folders, and archives shall be JV-pickup ID of the lead member. If a bidder chooses to submit an electronic bid, the same bidder can no longer submit a bid manually for the same contract and vice versa. Bid modification can be submitted electronically or manually, regardless of the manner by which the original bid was submitted. If a bidder submitted modifications both electronically and manually for a specific contract, the submission with the latest official date and time of receipt shall prevail. The submitted official receipt of purchase of bidding documents shall include the correct and complete names of the contractors who will submit their bids. Notes and reminders for the receipt of bids. An auto-reply email shall be sent to acknowledge receipt of electronic bids in instances where an email is sent with incorrect subject contract ID, which means that a corresponding folder with the same contract ID does not exist in the eBid portal. Without any attachment, with attachment that is not in the prescribed format, with more than one attachment, or submitted after the deadline. An auto-reply email shall also be sent regarding withdrawal of bid, non-participation, and if the bidder has yet to submit proof of purchase of bidding documents or the official receipt. Emails with more than one attachment with invalid subject contract ID and unrecognized transactions shall be automatically moved to the unidentified documents subfolder in the procuring entity's main folder in the eBid portal. This is the unidentified documents folder in the eBid portal. The following shall not be accepted by the eBid portal. Submission of bid without initially submitting the proof of purchase of bidding documents or the official receipt. Submission of bid after the deadline, and submission of proof of purchase of bidding documents after the deadline. Notes and reminders for the opening of bids. For a hybrid system of submission where electronic and manual bids were received for a particular contract, electronic bids must be opened first before the manual bids. If a bidder committed typographical errors in the submission of electronic bid or attached files in the wrong format, the bid shall be accepted, provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The BAC shall assume no responsibility for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or improperly compressed or password-protected folder or for its premature opening. If an electronic bid or file was found to be damaged and could not be extracted or opened, the bid shall be considered failed. Notes and reminders for non-participation and bid withdrawal. In case of non-participation and withdrawal of bids, the BAC Secretariat shall check the letters of non-participation, bid withdrawal received in the dedicated email address and is stored in the eBid portal, and shall observe the provisions under Section 26.2 of the IRR of RA 9184 and DO 17 Series of 2015.
Okay, thank you very much po. Let me just check the attendance. Okay. So we do not have any interested bidder attending via Zoom. May I know with procurement if there is any interested bidder attending on site?
Good afternoon po, attorney. Wala po, attorney.
Okay, thank you very much. And since that is the last item on our agenda for today, happy weekend everyone. Our meeting is now adjourned. Salamat po. Adjourn na po tayo. Thank you.